which.
Any of us, we're okay now?
Now, are they working?
Okay, may I have a, excuse me, may I have a reading of the meeting statement, please?
Liquid notice of this meeting was provided to the public in the press on January 19, 2025. It was posted at the municipal. SA 10:4-7.
Will you please rise and join me in the pledge to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bushieri.
Here.
Councilmember Di Benedetto.
Present.
And
Here.
Councilmember Sparta.
Present.
Council President Rizzuto.
Here. This evening, placed on our agenda, discussion item, the request of the mayor for a discussion on gun carry permit. Don't anticipate any action on it other than discussion. Would anyone like to open up the discussion?
I think the mayor should,
Mayor?
tell us why he wanted this.
Hi, thank you, Council President. In June of 2022, the Supreme Court ruled in the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin case. This case was a huge impact on how the Second Amendment really should be laid out, and that is the right to keep and bear arms. But the issue with the Bruin decision was because of the having no longer requiring a justifiable need in order to carry or to legally carry a firearm. So that decision at the federal level, Supreme Court weighed in on, sent waves, especially to New Jersey State, on how they can now prevent people from carrying firearms. Like I said, I think it's, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And I think our founding fathers have been very clear when they said shall not be infringed. The governor has made it very clear onto why he set high fees. These fees went from $50 to $5 for a firearms ID card. For a application for a handgun went from $2 to $25. And I believe the concealed carry went from $25 to $200. Made it very clear on why he enabled these fees to be this high. And these fees, especially if substantial, can effectively price out certain individuals from exercising their right to own firearms, effectively infringing on the Second Amendment. This also violates the 14th Amendment as well, that apply to most of the Bill of Rights, including the Second Amendment to the states. This means that the state and local governments cannot infringe upon rights guaranteed by the Second Amendment, just as the federal government cannot. Now, that being said, I have met with a lot of people who tell me they cannot afford the cost for a constitutional right to carry is probably just over $500 between the qualification, which is around, I think, $300. That's what I paid, and then it's $200, $226. I think 26 goes to for a background check, and 150 to the municipality and 50 to the state. Now, this fee is not, we're not looking to remove the qualification process, the background check. It doesn't make anything unsafe. it just allows people to exercise that fundamental right without having that cost. And that cost is every 2 years, they have to renew this. Now, I don't want to diminish the work that goes into doing these investigations. If there's a clean record, it's pretty quick on how that goes. Obviously, if there's an issue on someone's background, it can go into quite extensively. But I just want to, one of the things that I guess they try to instill was that these gun owners, like New Jersey was going to turn into this wild, wild west. The crime was going to go up, but I just want to tell you what exactly, and this is from the horse's mouth. On January 8, 2025, Murphy announced the following: crime in the state for 2024. The results include the lowest number of shootings in state history for a second year in a row. In 2024, 778 victims suffered gunshot injuries in New Jersey, a drop of 16% from 2023, officials said, when a then record low of 924 shooting victims marked the first time that fewer than 1,000 gun violence victims were recorded since tracking began in 2009. Of the total victims shot in 2024, there are 152 fatalities, a reduction of 20% from 2023. Murphy also announced an 11% decrease from 2023 in auto thefts. According to state police, the total number of thefts went from 16,694 in 2023 to 14,755 statewide last year. Since the Vernon decision today, don't quote me on this, but the number that I received was over 62,000 concealed carry permits have been issued in the state of New Jersey. And you want to know how many crimes were committed with those concealed carry holders? Zero. Now, we can choke it up as, the last 2 years, we've been known as the safest town in New Jersey. I know Trenton doesn't want to admit that maybe this is because concealed carry has now made its way, but it should not be a burden on the individual who's trying to exercise their right. So that's why I'm bringing this. This is something that's supported through members of our assembly, LD 23. Most of the I haven't put every single person in the LD 24, but it's I believe they stand behind that as well. It's something that, again, it's a constitutional right, and it shouldn't be. The fee shouldn't be that high for it. I mean, what are we going to do next? We're going to tax voters? How about there's an admission at the door here that everyone has to pay a fee to speak, right? It's what are we going to tax next? So this is why I felt that this is something that should come to the table. It should be looked at and considered.
Thank you. Question. Regarding the fees that you're talking about, are these fees mandated? Are these required by the state?
They're not required, they are recommended. Correct.
You can get a gun without,
Is that,
so you can get a gun without paying a fee?
no, you have to pay the.
About a concealed carry permit, not a.
So there's a charge, I believe you have to make to the state police, and then there's a charge to the town. You'd only be talking about the town portion.
Correct, just the town
What
board.
is the town portion?
For concealed carry, it's $150.
$250.
150.
100.
100.
It's a total of $250 goes to the state.
Well, let's just talk about what we can,
Correct.
what affects what we have control.
$150.
So it's $150, and that, do we pay for any of the background checks? Does our township pay for any of
So
those?
what happens is the individual would have to fill out a form from the state police. They have to get people that know them, character
References, yeah,
references.
okay.
That goes to those emails. The person gets it, fills it out. It goes to the state police. All really they're doing is looking to make sure the person doesn't have any type of criminal record.
Mhm.
Then it goes back to your local police department. They do their investigation, make sure, maybe there's no ordinances, or if there's a known person that has come through the
Mhm.
municipal court, the chief of police has the ability to flag the,
And I
Carry
know for a
permit.
fact he's had to go to court.
Yep.
So we don't pay, so the township doesn't pay for the background check. That's part of the $50 fee that's sent to the state police. Is
Correct.
that correct?
yeah, so that fee that you're paying for is what the police do. You may want to get some information from the police officer
Mhm.
who
To
does
see how
the
much
backup.
time,
Yeah, and some of them are somewhat extensive. I heard some, police departments, they had a backlog when it first started because, well, I think really they didn't know what to do because it was a new
Mhm.
process, but they do have to do follow-up. They want to talk to make sure that there's no issues. Maybe they look at their files, because there's things that happen in the town that don't go on, like ordinance violations. That doesn't go on a criminal record.
And then every 2 years, Anthony, is that
Every 2
with our town or is that with the state that
That's the state requirement.
It's a 2-year carry permit.
Is carried.
they have to go through a brand new application
Yeah.
process, including our town fees at the current ordinance?
Every 2 years, yes.
Every 2 years.
I'll tell you that Florida, I think was under $100 and
And it's 5 years.
No, we don't have DeSantis,
Right.
unfortunately.
And it's interesting because that one goes to the agriculture board. It's a whole different
They're
department.
shooting vermin.
Oh,
And I think Pennsylvania was $25 for 5 years. So again, this was driven by Murphy. It's clear.
Who made the decision for the 150 though? Where did that number come from?
That came from the recommendation from the state. And then that was actually put into our fee ordinance.
Hmm.
And I watched it. I mean, it was put in with everything else, so it wasn't like it
Yeah, it wasn't separate. Yeah.
wasn't a topic of discussion of why that was happening, right?
Yeah, I think the assumption was that was what the state was charging us and we were just recouping what
Correct, yeah.
state fees were, but I didn't realize that's coming to our
Yep.
account and not going back to the state.
So again, this started in Englishtown. They passed it. Franklin Borough just passed it. Akron is passing it. This seems to be going across New Jersey. Push back on what that agenda was. And again, it's a fee that it infringes. Look, and I try to cut every dollar where I can, try to save where I can, but believe me, but there's certain things that I just feel like shouldn't be paying for. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think many do agree to that.
Who was responsible for doing the background checks in the community?
Well, police department does.
Right.
Well, I think it goes to, no, don't hold me on that.
goes to the state police for a criminal background check, then comes
Correct. Then
your chief.
It does not one of our officers also
The
validate that action?
Correct.
Yeah, they'll follow up too. Like I gotta follow up when I apply for my carry. I got a phone.
But how many hours do you know that it takes for one of our officers to?
Well, they have it here that, so I guess they have some dispatches, that assist in the process. So they have roughly close to three hours. That, again, that's an applicant with no issues. So it's within 3 hours.
My understanding is based upon the comments from Chief Young when he was here and talked about this, his responsibilities and what was going on, that he needed to have a sergeant tasked to do this to do this project, handle these responsibilities. And I think based upon what we're looking at here and with the additional people, would you say that, have any idea what it takes for the sum total of one of our people or two of our people to handle this? That means going through, doing the background check, interviewing and whatever they have to do, and then, sending it back.
Right, well, again, I guess it would all depend on who the investigation officer is and how much he's making. But I guess there's a total, it could be a total approximately $175.
I was,
What's a total of $175?
On here, it's stated that it could be a total of
our time.
75. But again, that's an estimated number because it's approximate, because
Yeah.
how do it depends on the people that are involved, that have to go through the process and review it and, dispatch time, like
So the
that.
process of reviewing on our end, and maybe our attorney can answer this better, that is also mandated by the state. So the checks that our police department does.
So they allow you to charge that
to
money.
Charge that, but I'm talking about the work. So like the applicant,
The way the law is written, yes, it comes back to the
that,
chief.
so we have to finish that work.
Yes.
Yes, and there's,
And he signed, the chief signs one.
so I'm sure there's
Okay.
documents or a checklist or a policy that he needs to
Yes.
follow, to do his
Mhm.
due diligence before that concealed carry permit is
Correct.
issued.
based upon his comments, and his report, and I'm reading from the report that he gave to the township, New Jersey firearms carry permits, investigations, year to date, this was in 2024. And as of 10/31, so we still had 2 months to go. You're looking at 1,179 carry permits. And
Wow,
that-
in our town?
in our town. And we collected a total of $48,320. And my recollection is that was one of the reasons why he wanted to have a
Let me,
sergeant involved in
let
it.
me,
And I don't think a sergeant makes, minimum pay.
no, this is from the chief. So in 2024, 139 permit to carry was issued,
139.
139.
We have
Yes.
700.
And as of today, of June 12th, 76 permit to carry
That's
has been issued.
it.
What you gotta do.
Because
Have been.
you have one, it's every 2 years, right? So 1 year you'll have a lower,
And probably when it
enrollment.
passed, a lot of people running out their carry and then
Oh,
let
it's
it
been
lapse.
going up since. Every-
Yes.
Yeah, but these investigations
Number seems
could be,
Yeah, right. I'm giving the ones that I
well,
got.
yeah, but that
Oh, I-
investigations could also mean,
Yes.
sports. So if you're a youth, on youth
No,
sports
it
as a
says
coach.
carry
No, it
permit.
says
Really?
carry permits, very, very clear.
So are we only issuing 10% of the ones that apply?
That can't be. There would
Can't
be
be.
huge loss.
Numbers don't, right.
What's that?
That report says that we did over 1,100 investigations by the end of October, but you're saying we only issued like 110 in 2024.
Now, I don't know if that, I have to look at that report.
That's
again. I don't,
Oh, okay, wait. Is that any type of firearms purchaser's permit or is that
It
just?
says,
for-
no, it says carry permits. New Jersey
Says carry
firearms
permit.
investigations total.
There is no open carry in New Jersey.
no open carry, no.
No, it's.
No, the point that I'm making is what we're
Maybe
looking
that shouldn't have
at,
said cat. We need clarification.
we're looking at a substantial number of carry permits. So I have no problem with the issue at hand. That isn't the question. The question is that the amount of money
I don't
that
think
this has generated is almost $50,000. And
I think that's in total with.
I don't think that's right. I don't think
Handgun permits.
1,100 carry. I think it's 1,100 purchasers perm. I think it's 1,100 investigations, whether they're
I'm
purchasing permits.
only reading what.
I,
what
yeah,
he
no,
gave.
I know.
Three permits at a time.
Yeah,
That's what
I
it
agree
is.
that you're only,
That's what he just gave me.
because that, those numbers are, it's a tenth of what was the investigations done. That doesn't make sense. That only 10% of the people are getting a permit.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
No, but I could see if it was everybody who was purchasing a handgun.
Yeah.
These investigations may be for a lot of things.
But you put the word carry in that sentence,
Right.
and that confuses it. So we
Okay.
need clarification on
We'll
that.
clarify on that. Yes, absolutely.
But the
Because
point
there's
I'm
a
making is regardless of what we're looking at, we have a revenue stream of almost $50,000. And to categorically say we're going to refund that amount.
It wouldn't be,
Do it.
it would be proactive, wouldn't be retro.
Thank you. Yeah, I was not in favor of doing a reimbursement. I think, I don't know if that came from another township, that resolution.
But again, that raises the question of then who absorbs the cost of those investigations?
Well, taxpayers do, right? But
I understand.
everything else, the taxpayers.
If you're talking about an unfunded mandate, this is about as close to an unfunded mandate as you're gonna get. And, you know, I have no problem with somebody coming in and saying, you know, I would like to have a carry permit. We have to then provide all the documentation and everything. They go ahead and they do it.
So now they
Somebody else can come in and
fine now, so everything.
no, somebody else comes in and says, why do I have to pay for somebody to carry a firearm? We're the safest town in New Jersey. It's one of the reasons why I moved here. Is it necessary for me to have a firearm on my person in order to do this? I just question whether or not we are wise in requiring all residents to share in the responsibility for a smaller group to be able to carry a firearm. Why should I pay? And by the way, I mean, suppose you were to have 15 firearms and 15 different types of pistols. I guess that would stay the same. You can only carry one pistol at a time.
Yeah,
But-
you have to qualify
Yeah,
for.
Yeah, so, but still, it's, the issue becomes, why does the average taxpayer who's maybe not in favor of this have to share in that, in that cost? I just don't think that's something that we should do.
But we can argue that with every other fee that we
And
charge.
and I think that's part of the problem, because now look at building permits, electric permits, you know, all these other permits that people have to file when they come in. They're coming to get those permits for their
Their
benefit,
property,
right?
yeah.
So I think that's a concern. Mayor and I had a conversation about this afternoon. And just going, I'm not a gun owner or anything like that, but I have no problem with people carrying their own guns. Place in North Carolina, very often I go out for dinner, there's a guy sitting next to me with a pistol on his hip. It doesn't bother me. Matter of fact, I feel much safer when that's happening. But I do have a little bit of an issue of the tax base picking up that balance that's there. I don't know if there's a way that we can find a way to do a hardship exemption or something like that. For those people who it is a true hardship for. I'd be interested in seeing that. I'd also like to see some more firm numbers as to how many man hours it does take for, whether it be a dispatcher or a sergeant or whoever, to do these investigations, because let's face it, you know, some of our police officers are, you know, with overtime and everything, they're running, you know, $120,000 to $150,000 a year. Hourly, that comes out to be quite some, I think it actually, their time that they put into probably exceeds the $150, so.
But the chief wrote down here, it's 3 hours of a streamlined application, total cost approximately 175. So he did break out what that, the amount of.
I want to hear what Jessica has to say. I know she's been
Because
thinking.
none of these other permits that we're paying for are built around a constitutional right. Any gun law, honestly, any gun law, any fee is an affront to our Second Amendment right. We should not have to pay fees to protect ourselves. It's written into our constitution.
But not to argue or Jess, but back then too, there wasn't any background checks that had to be done. There was nothing that went into it when the Constitution was written, that people had to go ahead and pay a fee or have background checks or anything like that. People just, they had the right to bear arms, right? People still do have the right to bear arms, but now society has evolved to a fact that now, unfortunately, we have to go ahead and put extra resources to it in order to see if that person is fit to carry an arm.
But shall not be infringed.
I totally understand that, and that's why I said maybe there needs to be a hardship exemption. Then there is no infringement, because let's say somebody is a millionaire, right? They have that same right to go ahead and carry as a person who has some economic disadvantages. So there, I think, and I totally understand your.
And I get where you're coming from too, but I'll never waver on my
That's
position, but
fine.
I understand where you guys are coming from and the fiscal responsibility we have to the town and the other folks.
They're taxpayers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
taxpayers, are- but you know what? I mean, shall not be infringed for me.
But then how do you resolve that then? Like, are you okay with other taxpayers putting the bill for something that they're, like, I'm getting a pool permit? And
No.
no, I'm not happy.
It's not in the Constitution.
No, it's not. Although I don't,
But the township
I'm
does.
torn with this. I'm really torn with this.
Fair enough.
I'm really torn with
I
it.
believe that there is a gun association group, and probably one of the people out here probably knows it more than I do. But there may be an action against the state over that issue,
Mhm.
that you cannot tax a constitutional right on that issue.
Mhm.
And that may resolve
Well,
it for the whole state, but
Right.
until that time, I think individual governing bodies have that ability. And I think that's probably the reason why the mayor brought it to the council, correct, Mayor?
Correct, yes.
I mean, it's not a tax, it's a fee, and I know a fee is just another way to say a tax, right? Yeah, but,
Well, I think there's a lot of important points made, but we don't have the information. I think, Mr. Mayor, you got to come up with some answers as to how many permits are really issued currently. 1,100 to 139 is a big difference.
2024, 139 carry permits were issued.
That was 1 year.
Yeah.
2025.
Right. And I think Mr. Rizzuto.
that was background checks. That was
Cumulative.
background checks.
That was background check.
Yeah.
That could have been for, that could be for.
ID card.
Well, it could be for rifles, it could be for pistols.
Right.
ID card.
It might not be for concealed carry, it could just be a person.
So I even have the numbers here. So for an example, FID cards in 2024, 310. Pistol permits, 730 and carries 139. That was,
There you go.
That adds up to
Yeah.
almost
Yeah, so that,
39.
Right.
yeah.
so far to, as of June 12th, 123 FID cards, 285 handgun permits and 76 carry permits.
Still haven't resolved the question that I raised and Mrs. Bucieri was mentioning is why then should an individual taxpayer be forced to pay in order to help somebody else be able to carry a firearm?
The gun laws, these permit fees were implemented back in 1966 and have not been changed until the Bruin.
Excuse me, we operate under existing laws, right?
Well, wasn't a law, it was a recommendation.
The 150 was a record.
150 is a recommendation, yes.
Did we make profit on the 150?
No.
It doesn't sound like
Nobody
it.
can answer that question.
Well, no, he said
What's
that,
the true cost?
he said it was 175. He said it twice.
Yeah, the chief.
For the chief, it's 175 per concealed carry. So we're not profiting on it.
But in effect,
I don't think you can answer that question, Natalie. I think.
He just
said it. He
just,
said it, that
he said it twice.
Keith Young has it broken down at
He has it broken down.
dollars per application.
but,
He said that.
Per
but
application or per
Investigation.
successful permit issue?
For carry application.
Society.
But in effect,
That's a standard.
what I'm still saying is even if you were to break it down to the point where everyone were to share and share equally, somebody would be paying for the ability for somebody else to carry a firearm.
But Pat, so many people without children in this town pay for other people's kids to go to school. It's the cost of belonging to a society in which we
Right.
have.
You're right.
But
Thank you. Yeah.
But each one of them have the responsibility to shoulder that cost because that's something the way we've been doing it all along.
But so is our constitutional right,
If it
our
was,
Second Amendment, our
if we're
First
going-
Amendment even, but
if we're going to get into that, there are probably other areas that we would be able to bring up and find ways to fund our education better. The re-
well,
You know,
don't even get me started on
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Here, we're in New Jersey.
Exactly, but I think the point is that we're looking at a $50,000.
No, it's not
Oh.
50.
Not 50.
excuse me, and
We gotta let's get
I
the,
have the number right here.
looking here, the amount of money for actual, we received in 2024
For concealed
was
carry.
$50,554. It was in the budget.
That's not for carry permits.
No, it was in total firearms.
Well, yeah, we're not talking about firearms and handgun permits. We're just talking about carry permits.
So even
we
if,
should talk about those.
No, you know,
I would think that they're not only, they're intertwined in some way.
no, they're separate.
Separate fees for each.
Separate, yeah. Well, there's a higher
And like
fee.
the FID card is how much?
Well, it went from $5 to $50.
Right, right.
You know, it wasn't like a small fee went up. You can
It's
understand.
gonna go to $750 from $5.
It went up, it went up 10 times, yeah, from 5 to 50. But listen, you don't have to, I think pretty much everybody here has disdain for Trenton.
Wasn't it
None of us are happy with that.
to restrict
Mhm.
gun owners? And he's made it clear. I mean, this is no secret. If he was here, he'd probably tell you the same.
And the insurance.
Well, 2019, Governor Murphy, what he did was, this is a good one. I'm gonna enjoy this one. What he did was he set an executive order 83, prohibiting self-defense, insurance. So, well, what happened? So, yeah, 2009, he signed Executive Order 83, which directed the State Department of Banking and Insurance to take action against insurance policies that encourage firearm use, including those of self-defense. Well, when they passed the Bruin decision and it came time to, or the laws were so bad where gun owners couldn't even leave their house. I mean, you couldn't carry in your car, you couldn't do anything. And one of those restrictions, one of those things was you had to have insurance in order to carry. Well, how do you get insurance when the governor has already threatened to fine people and shut them down for insurance companies? This was not doing this, to me, is we're continuing that gun control agenda that the Murphy administration has set out to do. And like I said, it affects people. I've had veterans who told me, disabled veterans who told me that they're on a fixed income. They cannot afford the $500 and something every 2 years for a concealed carry permit. I've had people, regular people tell me, I can't afford it. Like I said, Pennsylvania was 25, Florida's hard, and it's 5-7 years. We're talking 2 years, every 2 years. That's a lot. It's a lot of
We
money.
can't do anything about that either. We're only.
I understand that.
We can only chip away at this issue if we choose to.
Interestingly, on a different subject, but somewhat allied to this, there was a breakdown on the township. And it was talking about basically affordability and what our household earnings. Household earnings, 100,000 or more, increased significantly in Vernon Township. 1999, only 15% of the households earn between $100,000 and $150,000 dollars. That share rose to 21, almost 21%. Similarly, the percentage of household earnings between 150 and 199 grew from 3.4% to 16.9%. And those
What
earnings,
time frame though, from when to when?
this
25 years.
20.
Yeah, but you can't even really. Really?
$100,000 in 1999 was like,
Fortunately, with inflation.
Can I make a suggestion here? Obviously this has some constitutional infringement here, so can I ask if we can write a letter along with our Board of Commissioners and our LD 24 representatives to whoever we need to in the state, basically saying that we think that this is infringing upon constitutional rights of New Jerseyans and send it to surrounding towns. We've gotten these letters of support before from surrounding towns for the Delaware National Park and all this other stuff. Why don't we start a grassroots campaign? Because I have to say, what Jess said about the, societal benefit and of, there's people in this town that never have a kid in the school and they pay for school taxes swayed me on this. That's why I think discussions like this are very important to have. Because it's something that, I don't think you would have said to me, on the side or anything. So I appreciate that comment. And we do have, representatives in here from our commissioners, if that was something that they'd be willing to help on board with as well, to sign a letter of support saying that this is unconstitutional, infringes upon the rights of New Jerseyans, and send it to other towns for their support as well. Is that something that the council is willing to get behind?
I have no problem.
For sure.
Can we have the
Yeah.
attorney, can we have attorney draft up that letter?
Put it on.
Like a resolution,
Yeah, but as
Talking about a resolution.
and a letter.
resolution of support.
Any other comments on this? Maybe we also might want to include in that a resolution of support for any type of assistance that the state could give us
Absolutely.
for the unfunded mandate that we
Absolutely.
get, that Mr.
We can.
Yeah,
Mr. Higgins
unfunded-
brings up.
Another unfunded mandate.
For
Mandate.
the, for,
But there is.
Well, no,
our
because it's
Police
recommended.
department has to do. There is work that our police department is mandated to do by the state.
Right, yes.
Not mandated to charge, to have a fee, but is mandated to do. And unfunded by Trenton, again.
Mr. Mayor, when you brought this up, did you have a recommendation to make? For us to consider? What would you like to be?
But I would love for it to go back to the way it was before the Bruin decision, which was, I think it was like a $25 fee for carry and $5 for firearms ID and $2 for handgun permit. Like I said, I think this came out of this decision. That's
But
all.
we can't do that. So what would you want Vernon to do?
Well, there is the $150 fee at the municipality for concealed carry.
Okay.
That's the permit.
That's what you're looking for, just the concealed carry portion right now,
Yeah.
or your recommendation.
Myself, and many gun owners in the town, feel the same as well. And it irks me to the core when I hear veterans, talk about the fact that they cannot afford, over $500 for concealed carry to get it.
Why is it 500? What is it?
You have to pay for, like a gun.
Oh, you have to
something for the
qualify in the range, yeah.
By the way, like I'm all for the qualification and the background permit, fee. I understand it. I get it. And this does not remove that, but the fact is, I think it's around 300. I think total is like over $500, $525, between the qualification, course, and the training, again, to the $226 for the municipal and state as well. So it's a total of over $500 every 2 years that you would be considered to pay.
Good, I'm in the camp with you. Keep it as low as possible for as long as possible. Everybody has their rights and we pay for things that we don't use or other people don't use, and it's the good of all. So it's thrown into the pot
Hell yeah.
and gotta be thrown in there.
Any other comments? Moving on. Mayor's comments.
So today, I'd like to thank the council for accepting my request. That I hope to pass the parking ordinance for our Gold Star members. A few months ago, Vernon initiated the Hometown Heroes Banner Program, which honors our veterans. I'm very honored to see so many Vernon residents who served and are currently serving in our military are recognized. Today, Vernon Township recognizes the sacrifice that all Gold Star family members make when a father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, or other loved one dies in service to the nation. The brave men and women of our armed forces represent the very best of our great nation, matched only by the families who walk beside them in their service. Americans of every generation owe a debt of gratitude to the men and women who gave their lives in service to this nation and to their families who remain forever changed. I know this recognition and this parking sign can never replace those who lost, but I hope a Gold Star family member, when parking on any of our Vernon Township properties, knows that our hearts and prayers are always with them, and we will never forget the difficulties the Gold Star family member lives each and every day. Council President, that's all my comments.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
Moved.
Moved by Mrs. Benedetto. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Higgins. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Floor is open to the public for comments on agenda items only.
Second one.
This may be for.
How's everybody? Rachel Rodriguez, Hope Admin Council. Just to help you guys clarify a little bit of the process with the gun refund. That $200 you pay to the state is paid by the individual who wants to carry that concealed carry permit. The taxpayers in their entirety are not paying frankly to carry a weapon. So Council President Rizzuto, you pay $200 online, that $50 goes to the state police, that $150 comes to the town. Essentially, you guys would be giving you specifically back your own money that you already paid. No, if you look at the flip side, is it okay for the taxpayers of Vernon to benefit off the minority that want to apply for those concealed carry permits? You can see it both ways. So this is a mandate that's coming through, and if you wait for the state to do it, it's never gonna get done. So the message to the state is, we're gonna take it into our own hands, and we're gonna do it because that's what we believe in. We believe in the right to bear arms. Now, the money, if you follow the money trail that comes in, that $150 goes to your general operating budget. The police department is not being defunded any of that money because the work is gonna get done regardless, and I am a staunch police supporter, being a wife of a first responder. So the council needs to discuss and then decide, once you get the actual facts and the numbers, you know, for Hope Hack-On, if us as a council cannot find other routes of revenue, shame on us for not being creative enough or working diligently enough to find that funding. Because those choosing to conceal carry should not be benefiting the rest of the Vernon taxpayers. So just something to consider when you guys do that. That $150, the person who pays, it's just their own money coming back to them, nobody else's. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Joseph Laporto. I'm the Director of Legal Operations for New Jersey Firearms Owner Syndicate. I'm also standing here representing the National Rifle Association and the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. I want to thank the council for the spirited debate tonight. I certainly hope that in coming meetings, you will bring this resolution forward for consideration and for a positive vote. We obviously, on behalf of our millions of members across the United States and nearly 100,000 members in the state of New Jersey, we strongly believe in the right to keep and bear arms. It's a core constitutional right. The Bruin decision has been discussed greatly this evening. That part of the holding in that case was that the Second Amendment is not a second-class right. It is treated the same as all core constitutional rights. And I don't think any of us here would accept a poll tax. I don't think any of us here would accept a high prohibitive fee on the right to exercise my right to free speech, to assemble here and to address our government, to practice religion or any of those things. So the Bruin court made it clear the Second Amendment isn't identical in all ways to all of those other core rights, and we should treat them the same. The general police power is there. It is a burden and a cost to the municipality, and they do provide an important service, and public safety is important, but we don't do billing arrangements to figure out who pays for what when the police need to do something. We can't hide these rights behind high prohibitive paywalls. In New Jersey, I apologize that this has become such a confusing topic. Trenton has certainly made it that way. I don't have numbers to verify for Vernon, but it certainly sounds right to me that there would be less than 200 carry permits outstanding in Vernon, and I could certainly understand over 1,000 firearms related applications coming to the police department every year. There are 3 types of permits in New Jersey. There's a FID card, a purchase permit, and a carry permit. the defects in our statute under 58-3 that disqualifies somebody from exercising any one of those permits is the same, and the background check is identical. So every single one of those background checks involves the same process. Yet it costs $25 for one permit and $50 for another permit and $150 for another permit when the work is identical. And as Mayor Rossi pointed out, before these laws were enacted in December of 2022, those fees were a fraction of what they are today. And as far as a carry permit is concerned, before December of 2022, there was a $25 fee for a carry permit that was increased to $50 just prior to.
Sorry, your time's almost up.
But that was paid to the county, not to the municipality. Those background checks were performed at no cost and no reimbursement to the municipality itself. Those were paid to the county for a hearing, to cover the cost of the hearing to determine whether or not.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Tim McQuaid, 20 Cudney Road. I just like the redundancy he brought up about if you wanted to carry a handgun, that was your goal. You have to get the ID card and go through the background check. You have to get a permit, go through the background check, and apply for the carry permit and get a background check. You have to do all three at the same time. The police are not doing the job 3 times. But the redundancy is ridiculous. I'd also like to point out that 29 states in this country do not require a permit at all. Period. That's the Constitution. Thank you.
How you doing? Control for Michael Franklin Borough. We were on the second one in line to pass this, the resolution. If you're really going to break down the cost per police officer's time, why don't you do that for everything? A $20 summons that gets tossed out in court, how long does that take? You can't break it down per hour to try and figure out a cost. This is a constitutional right. Like's been said before, what else are you gonna charge us for at this point? I understand I'm in your seat too, as far as bringing in revenue and making the budgets pass and whatnot, but this was never meant to be a revenue. This is just another burden is what it is. Plus, it's not even a consistent. You're gonna see 1 year high numbers, 1 year low numbers when you have your renewals come in and a couple of people that are trying in between to get through. I strongly suggest that you do think about the people in this town, the ones that want to defend themselves, the ones that want to exercise their amendments and everything that the state is putting us through. Look at the budget the state just passed. Wait till that burden hits us all. Like we talked about before with the school, that's a burden that we're all putting together. And you talk about fees and the letter that you want the attorney to write. How much is that letter going to cost you? Think about that fee that now the entire town is going to have to pay for. It's the same thing. If you're going to really break it down per dollar, what parts are considered a right and what parts are considered a requirement? So really consider passing it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Alan Henderson, Lafayette Township, also County Commissioner. Well, I understand you want to write to us a letter in support. I understand that entirely. But I think the ultimate ball stops right here. You guys passed this ordinance. It's up to you guys to fix that ordinance. Believe me, as a retired police officer, I understand the right to carry weapons and all in support of that. But it's your ordinance. I mean, will they support you? I can only speak on behalf of myself and not my colleagues. But I think it's a decision this board has to make on their own.
Thank you.
Jennifer Johnson, Council President of BACOM. We are going to actually be passing this resolution on Wednesday. We discussed it at our last council meeting on the 2nd. We had overwhelming support from the council to put this on the next agenda. Some things to consider. We are doing ours moving forward. We are not retroactively refunding the permits on our CFO's advice because the budget's already done. So to go back to January 1st would be contraindicated for our budget. But we're going to be doing it going first as of August 1st, refunding the $150. And we're also giving 30 calendar days. You come in with a receipt that is within 30 calendar days of the purchase, and you are given you're getting your refund of $150. I also wanted to note that inflation over the past 5 years has been insane, right? Everything's gone up 5%, 7%, 10%. There's nothing that has gone up 10%, 100%, 1,000%, because $5 to $50, that's a big jump. From $25 to $200, that's even bigger. And it is a burden for your concealed carry applicants who are obtaining firearms the right way, the legal way in New Jersey. And so punishing them by giving them a $150 fee for a constitutional right is just not right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to come forward? Seeing no one wishing to, may I have a motion to close the floor to the public? Moved by Mr. Higgins. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. by Mrs. Fury. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion. All members have received a copy of the bills list. Any comments regarding that?
Been really diligent on putting when it's been a trust on there, Danelle. Thank you.
Hearing no comments?
There's one on here, 64-184, Lake Pochung Outing Association. Kelly bill reimbursement.
Reimbursement for services that we do not, we don't, these were old reimbursements from 2019 through 2023. I was waiting for backup from that community for a number of years.
So the community provided services that we normally would
Snow
provide,
plowing. Mhm.
and they did it on their own, and 2 years later, they're asking
Yeah, like
reimbursement.
they are in some of this case, yeah.
Is there any limit on that if they?
No,
again,
they were entitled to it. What they were entitled to it, the issue is that we have standards for things that need to be submitted. So in a couple of the cases, sometimes they submit the copy of their check, but they don't have the invoices that go with it, or they submit us the invoices and they don't show us that it was paid. So we require the contract with the contractor to show exactly what's supposed to be paid. We require the invoices for that payment and a copy of, whether it's a copy of the check or a copy of their ledger to show that it was paid in order to reimburse them based on our mileage rate.
And then we inspect the work. It's work that we know has been done.
It's snow plowing.
Yeah. Oh, snow plowing?
Yeah, that's up to the communities to determine if their vendors snowplowed correctly, but yes.
Okay.
Hearing no other comments, we'll move on. Consent agenda. Resolution 25, excuse me, if anyone would like to have any of these separated prior to vote, let me know if we'll, before we place them on the floor. 25-184, approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for Canistee Road Phase 2 and road improvement. Resolution 25-185, a resolution to increase the bid threshold. Resolution 25-186. Resolution authorizing the cancellation of the outstanding checks over 6 months old to municipal cash balances. Resolution 25-187, resolution amending number 25-03, reauthorizing petty cash funds for calendar year. For the calendar year. Resolution 25-188,
approving a charitable solicitor's permit, Vernon Emergency Medical Services, Inc. Resolution 25-189, a resolution of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, approving and authorizing the use of Purchasing Procedures Manual and Vendor Manual. Resolution 25-190, a resolution authorizing the issuance of not exceeding 10,788,000 in bond anticipation notes of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, New Jersey. Vernon, New Jersey. Resolution 25-191, refund overpayment block 233, lot 3, Hugh Farm Smith. Resolution 25-192, a refund overpayment block 1, lot 1. Resolution 25-193, refund for totally disabled veteran block 164, lot 1. Resolution 25-194, block 164, lot 1, canceling taxes for total disabled veteran. Resolution 25-195, a resolution for totally disabled veteran, block 537, lot 27. Resolution 25-196, block 538, lots 27, canceling taxes for totally disabled veteran. Resolution 25-197, refund for totally disabled veteran, block 8, lot 3. Resolution 25-198, refund overpayment, block 321, lot 5, Hugh Farm, Petrokowski. Resolution 25-170, resolution endorsing 2025 Housing Element Fair Share Plan. Resolution 25-199, resolution of the intent to bond in the event there is a shortfall in the funding to effectuate certain affordable housing mechanisms in its fourth round housing and element and fair share plan. Resolution 25-200, a resolution adopting fourth round spending plan. And we also have two additional.
Council President, can we take out of the consent agenda, 25-170, 25-199, and 25-200, and vote on them separately?
25-170.
70. That's 199.
Hold on, 25, I'm trying to find 170.
They're on the
Back page here.
3 ones.
Okay,
You want to just use this?
that's it. Hold on, I got it. Let me find it again.
On the bottom. The third from the last.
Yeah.
Yes.
Removing resolutions 25-170, 25-199, 25-200.
Thank you.
The
Can they be voted as a block or each individual?
I kind of want them each.
Individual.
Okay, that's fine. I just wasn't sure how it was on the
Yeah,
agenda.
thank you.
May I have a motion to introduce the cited resolutions as read?
with the exclusion of the three mentioned. 25-170, 125-199, and 25-200.
I make a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion made for the consent agenda by Mr. Sparta. Is there a second?
Second?
Seconded by Mrs. Di Benedetto. Roll call, please.
Member Bushieri?
Yes.
Member Di Benedetto?
Yes.
Councilmember Higgins?
Yes.
Councilmember Scarta?
Yes.
Council President Rizzuto?
Yes. Moving on, resolution 25-170, resolution endorsing the 2025 housing element and fair share plan. May I have a motion to place this on the floor for consideration?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. Is there a second? Second?
Second.
I'll second it.
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Bucieri. Any questions or comments on this?
Yeah, I do have a quick question. So I didn't get a chance to look at this because I guess this was the last edition that was at our seat. So I don't know if the mayor or maybe Tina can answer this. An obligation of 33 units and then another obligation of 194 units. So does that mean those are the total amount?
So it's 195, 194 total, and 33 is immediate, right? I guess it.
Present need is 33
Present.
and the fourth round is 194. So it's still 190.
It's the 194, yeah.
It's the 194 total. Okay.
And that number originally was the 300.
300. I think it was 301 or something, 304.
Any other questions? Not roll call, please.
Councilmember Bushieri?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilmember Higgins?
Yes.
Scarta?
Yes.
Council President Rizzuto?
Yes. Resolution 25-199, resolution of intent to bond in the event there is a shortfall in funding to effectuate certain affordable housing mechanisms in its fourth round housing element and fair share plan. May I have a motion to place this on the floor for consideration?
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Mrs. Cherry. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Higgins. Any discussion on this? Any questions or comments?
So on the surface, it says that we're willing to potentially bond monies that we don't know amounts right now if there's a shortfall on the fourth round. Like an open-ended commitment.
I think it's, I mean, I don't know what numbers are here, but, it's page 93 in the packet, whatever. There's a spending plan that's put forward for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. So they do project out revenues for the next 10 years. Again, those are projected. And they project out about 1.4 million in revenues plus the existing Affordable Housing Trust Fund. And then the corresponding exact number is expenditures that they anticipate. So obviously that's a little, depending on development. It also depends on what the expenditures are for affordable housing. It also depends on development that's coming into town, and we've already had a couple of, I think, applications for future development in town center where they would be taking care of their own affordable housing needs, which doesn't cost our trust fund or the town money. That's a developer cost. So I think there's a lot of like there's some projected ideas that are incorporated into this, but I think it also doesn't take into consideration units actually being built by developers. So yes, the township would, this is just obviously a resolution to say that we are intending to bond to meet our obligation because we are required to meet our obligation. If that's necessary, if it's not already met by development in town, or we don't have enough revenue streams that come in from development fees to take care of those obligations, or we don't meet some sort of obligation in working with developers that might come into town and do an all affordable housing project, which happens to.
Right. What if we didn't guarantee the bond?
Well, I mean, there's no bond ordinance.
No, there's no
So
ordinance.
this is just,
It's an open-ended statement. We're here if you need to.
Yes.
it's just saying, yes,
It's on intent, not necessarily action.
yes.
You have,
Correct.
you would,
You would still have to pass a bond ordinance, which requires 4 votes. So, you could pass this resolution and then never pass a bond ordinance for it. This doesn't create debt for you. It just says that the council acknowledges that it could at some point pass a bond ordinance. And yes, the intent would be to pass it if we couldn't meet our obligation.
And what's the time frame if we couldn't meet our obligation?
I don't know the specifics of the whole element and fair share plan. This projects out for 10 years.
Okay.
I don't
Theoretically,
I don't know how many units are gonna be built. I don't know how, I don't.
theoretically, they want you, fair share wants you to build them in 10 years.
Gotcha.
But most towns don't do that because either they don't have the land or they don't have the developers.
Well, yeah, because we're not building. I mean, we
That's
developers have to come here and build. We're not developers. We're municipality.
So we're bonding though.
That's
Not
what-
bonding. You're
No,
just
we're not
asking
bonding, but we're saying we would potentially bond, but then what's
So-
that bond? So we can become builders?
So theoretically, you have an obligation to build these units.
So then we can
You've
become
agreed.
builders.
No, you could be obligated to build them.
So that's what I'm saying. We-
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
way that you build them is as the CFO has pointed out, that usually a developer will come in.
Yeah.
So you have to give them a fair plan so they can provide these units to you in a bigger unit, apartment building.
But
Or-
and then we would own.
It's
that?
actually- So,
No,
so it's,
they would
If
turn.
we're Bonding, why are we
no,
bonding?
So if one of these developers fail or they run into issues and
Mhm.
miscalculate things, depending on your agreement, you would have to pay that cost theoretically. But that's that's
down.
future
So
down
that's
the
what
line.
that's what this means?
that it would be the intent to cover the cost because we do have the obligation to.
Build
To build them, even though we're not
And
building.
I just.
And I'm not
correct.
blaming you. I'm
It's
just,
okay.
I know this is from Trenton, but I just,
Yeah, the attorney did.
ridiculous.
The attorney did state, like apartment buildings. It's not just apartment buildings. They could be anything. They
It could be group homes, it could be,
homes for developmentally disabled. Like there's a lot, that's.
It's affordable, it's in the affordable housing arena,
So I just wanted, yeah.
and we're always lacking.
and
Like, hey, okay, Vernon Township's then gonna build an apartment.
also it's not each unit, it's each credit you get. So a group home, I think, gives you added.
Yes, yes. So if there was a group home and it was, I think they even have like assisted living homes. So like if it's an assisted living home, it's based on per bed.
Yeah, yeah.
So like per bed is one credit versus a 1-bedroom apartment is one credit. That's two totally, like, they're the same, it meets the same need obligation.
I'm not annoyed at you guys. You guys just have to learn this crazy talk
Yeah.
that is coming out of our legislative branch
Essentially,
And-
we're-
and it is crazy. Yeah.
essentially, we're not, this action doesn't require us to take an action.
Yeah, it's.
Not now.
Not now.
It's basically it's a resolution saying that in the future, if you haven't met your obligation,
Within 10
that
years.
if you have to, you would bond so you can meet it.
Maybe
and it's a
whatever
resolution.
process, it's a resolution.
And if it fails,
Yeah, but how do you
You
pass
would
this?
you would be taken to court by fair share.
Fair share would
And
take it
they'd-
to court
they
if we
would
didn't
sue
pass
you and
this?
you'd be-
You never have a choice.
No,
but
if
go.
you can build your
Place.
So we can
obligation
build, okay.
Thank
so
you.
this- Yeah, I mean, why do we have?
because it's part of the
Packet.
packet and
I
plan.
received this from, our attorney Glenn Keynes today.
Oh, okay. The pat, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And
I
it's
don't
part
want to
of-
make.
It's a package.
Yeah.
Thank you. Resolution 25-200.
And we got to vote on that.
Sorry, we have
gotta
to-
vote on
Yeah.
it.
Sorry, thank you. May you call the vote, please?
Councilmember Bouchier.
I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
Councilmember Di Benedetto.
Society, yes.
I'll abstain.
Councilmember Higgins.
Abstain.
Are you saying yes?
What did you say?
Abstain.
Oh,
Abstain.
he's
Oh, you're
abstaining.
abstaining. Okay, I'm sorry. Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Council President Rizzuto.
Yes.
Carries.
Resolution 25-200, resolution adopting fourth round spending plan. Motion places on the floor.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Materi. Is there a second?
Second,
Seconded by Mrs. Di Benedetto. Any comments on this or questions? If not, may I call for a roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Bouchier.
Yes.
Councilmember Di Benedetto.
yes.
Councilmember Higgins.
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Council President Rizzuto.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance to introduce Number 2510, an ordinance to introduce an ordinance establishing Chapter 409 parking for Gold Star families of Code of Township of Vernon. May I have a motion? Moved by Mr. Sparta. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Higgins.
Councilmember Jerry.
Yes.
Councilmember Di Benedetto.
Yes.
Councilmember Higgins.
Yes.
Councilmember Florida.
Yes.
Council President Rizzuto.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Public hearing and adoption of an ordinance. Ordinance 25-09, bond ordinance appropriating $3,492,500 and authorizing the issuance of $2,550,000 in bonds or notes township of for the township for various improvements and purposes authorized be undertaken by the township of Vernon in Sussex, County of Sussex, New Jersey. We have the motion to place this on the floor.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. by Mrs.
Carrie, keep mixing us up.
Any, have, anyone wishing to come forward to comment on this? Oh, we need to open the floor of the public on this.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Bucieri,
Second.
seconded by Mrs. Di Benedetto. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Anyone wishing to come forward and address this particular issue and only this particular issue, welcome to do so. If not, I'll ask for a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Bucieri. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. May I have a motion to open this for comment? Council?
Motion.
Anyone have any? Motion made by Mr. Sparta. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Di Benedetto. Anyone wishing to address this? Any comments on this?
Yes, I just a couple of questions. We've, over the last year and a half, had many discussions on purchases, bids, whatever we were buying, how we were buying it. During that course of the last year and a half, have we always had an official purchasing agent? Mr. Canning?
Yeah.
Who's named in here?
Yeah.
And why has that person never been here to answer some of the questions that many times we didn't know the answers to, or
Question did you have?
over the, I asked one question I can think of right now about, did we purchase or did we lease the new phone system with the internet connections? And no one knew the answer. And then I pointed out to you that you leased it when all this time you thought you purchased it. That was something that a certified purchasing agent should know. And that's just one that came to mind. There were other questions as well. So is this a person that potentially could be here at some of the meetings if there's a large purchase whenever these subjects come up?
I gave you a complete packet on exactly how the bidding, the thresholds. I gave you a step-by-step guide. He actually put his own little mindset into it about what to do when you're gonna do a project, when you're gonna go out to bid, contract, thresholds, how to do this, don't do this because you'll do it. He put all of his, that was a great packet that I personally gave it.
That wasn't my question. My question was, is it possible that if there's a large purchase and it's a meaningful purchase to the town, could he be here to explain it if he's the certified purchasing agent?
Self-explanatory.
It wasn't self-explanatory when you thought you were buying something.
Because that was a bit of a mix in a contract where it wasn't actually labeled as a lease. But obviously it was all their equipment. So it was kind of one of those didn't want to misquote anything or state anything, but this is not something to want to drag someone in for. I think the documentation, again, send your questions in, we'll be more than happy. As a matter of fact, you can even email him too. He's extremely responsive. He'll answer any questions you have.
I'm asking a question right now that has nothing to do with him being here. I'm asking if a large purchase comes up, if there's something outstanding, a large thing, a big bond. Yeah, we're showing $10.7 million worth of bonds that we're responsible for. Those go through a process. It's not a purchasing process. I get it. But we do purchase things at times and there may be questions. Is it too much to ask if there's a large purchase to?
But we have a CFO. I mean, this is all questions we can ask. Again, if you want to send emails to him, I mean, to drag.
Your answer is no, he won't be here.
I can't answer for him.
Mayor, isn't he, he's not a
employee.
full-time.
He's not an employee.
He's a contractor. So he's probably has so many hours a year or what?
He has probably 90% of the municipalities.
I know he does, yes.
So,
he's a specialist in this. He's not a full-time employee. He's a part-time employee or not even a part-time employee. He's just a contractor who reviews everything. So for him to come here, you'd have to ask him, but it would be probably outside his contract.
All the resolutions that come before council for all the large purchases, whether it's going over a bid threshold or we're awarding a bid or anything like that, they come from Sean. So he sends them in, we put certifications of funds on them, we make sure everything's put through. He also reviews all the purchase orders after the resolutions go through for those large purchases to make sure that we have all the backup with them. So Sean's already reviewed everything before it goes to council. It doesn't go to council without him reviewing it. So I'm not sure about him being able to come to the meetings. I think that's a discussion that obviously we'd have to ask him, but he's already reviewed everything that's gone to council for your approval, so.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Only other question I have, it's outside of that. The 10.7.
On this.
Can we stay on?
Okay,
We'll come back to this.
yep.
Let's stay on this because I want to move on this. Hearing no other questions, can we have a roll call?
Councilmember Bouchier.
Yes.
Councilmember Di Benedetto.
Yes.
Councilmember Higgins.
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Council President Rizzuto.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Apropos of what was taking place, Mr. Higgins, you had a comment.
Yeah, I had a question to our CFO. It's a general question. We're showing $10.7 million that we bonded, correct? Total overall?
Are you talking about the resolution you approved tonight?
My
10.8 million.
question.
$10.8 million.
Do we have outstanding $10.7 million in bonds,
In notes.
in notes?
We have just under 6 million outstanding in notes. We're issuing about another 4 to 5 million in notes for prior bonds that we haven't issued the cash for.
Okay, and we have a $32 million budget, right?
Correct?
Is that a healthy mix? I'm asking as a financial person, is that a healthy mix? What's the danger? Is there any danger?
We have a debt service schedule that we abide by. The township pays more than the minimum payments, and we have a debt schedule long-term that we're going by to make sure that we pay down our notes. It's in line with our long-term capital plan to ensure that we're paying things off responsibly.
What is our debt asset ratio?
It's less than 1%,
And how much is the township able to,
up to 3%.
up to 3%? So we're
We are,
well below.
yes.
And yeah, do you approximately know how much we paid off this past year?
I have to look at our budget. I'm sorry, I don't have my budget.
Wasn't in the area about $25 million?
That we paid off.
I'm sorry,
No, it's a bit, no, our debt and capital is just around 5 million. I'd probably say 3.5 in debt service.
Yep.
In paying off bonds right, and then our notes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Council comments?
Public comment.
I'm sorry, open meeting to public. I apologize.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. Is there a
Second.
second? Seconded by Mrs. Bucieri. The meeting is open to the public for anyone wishing to comment on any item for a period,
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Seeing no one wishing to come forward, we ask for a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Sparta. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Bucieri. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion comments? Motion is passed. Thank you.
Council President, could I ask for council to make a motion to add the fee to the next agenda meeting? Would someone make a motion?
No,
No.
no, I'll take care
Can
of it.
any council member?
Excuse me. There's some, I'll take care of it. Thank you. Council comments, please. Mr. Sparta?
Yeah, a few months ago, Mr. King gave me, quite the booklet of, I think it was Atlantic City.
Atlantic City's mercantile license.
Yeah, licenses. And, that was brought about a comment that I made. It was actually funny. Ms. Rodriguez mentioned about finding alternative revenue streams. And this was something I brought up during, budget time. To see if it was potential to, add a fee to room nights at, the hotels in town over and above the occupancy or the hotel occupancy tax that we get as well. Is that possible that you can share it with other council members? So we can have that as a discussion. I'm not going to be at the next meeting, but can we have it on a September agenda?
Yes, sir.
So we can discuss that, and maybe in the meantime, if we can get some sort of idea as to how many room nights that the hotels in town have. So if it's possible to craft something for additional revenue to set this stuff up. Also too, I don't know if that can be added on to the short-term rentals as well, because I know the hotel occupancy tax
It's different.
has short-term rentals on it as well, right? I don't know if that's something, because that wasn't in.
I'd have to look at the,
Yeah, that wasn't in the booklet. So I appreciate Ms. Rodriguez kind of jarring my memory on that one, because it's been a few months since I visited that. And I'll bring it up again. When can we do something about Legends?
I've been in contact with the attorney. He chose not to respond to the questions. He's apparently still working on the appraisal, which is the thing that we have to do anything about. Have to wait.
You mean Matt, you've been in contact with Matt, our attorney?
I've called, and he
Okay.
hasn't responded. Mayor, have you spoken with him?
I've spoken with Charles a few minutes ago.
Oh, what did Charles have to say?
Charles said he received funding and his attorney is contacting our attorney to schedule a payment around $3 million. No, sorry, $200,000, I guess, to show in good faith, and then pay off the 7.1 by January.
Well, you know,
Like I said, this is what.
this is ridiculous. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if he were to come forward
I
and
don't think we
offer,
should be having that
Excuse me.
conversation in public. If it's a contractual issue.
the issue is that if he's going to come forward and provide us with a smaller amount than was decided on within the
Sorry, it's my son's bedtime.
no problem.
It's mine too.
I'll have to turn that off every meeting.
For the redevelopment agreement, and I think, you know, he needs to be made re-aware of that situation.
We don't have a redevelopers agreement.
No, the one that we're working with right now.
As far as the appraisal goes, that was ordered because it fell underneath the threshold. When that was ordered, was there any type of time frame as to how long that would take?
Yeah, we did have a meeting with him and he'd said it would take 3 months.
3 months, and it was
Okay.
ordered when?
30 days ago, I think. Again,
May
It was
is,
May, yeah.
May?
Leave May.
End of May.
End of May, June, July. So end of August, we should have something from the appraisal.
Okay.
And then, and I don't know, maybe Mr. King, this is something that maybe you can answer, that Matt could probably answer. Is once that appraisal's done, what's our next step towards condemnation?
Well, once you have that, it'll give you a number.
Mhm.
And then that number will come back to the board and then you'll decide on what the next step is. If you want to go forward, you have to make a good faith, you make that offer.
Mhm.
They don't accept it, there's a certain amount of time and then you can commence a legal action.
Okay. I think I've stressed more times my frustration with this and I'm gonna bring this up every month, obviously next month, because I'm not gonna be here. But in September, I'll be bringing it up again. So if we can have the mercantile licenses on there for additional revenue and legends as well.
Well, I echo your frustration, sure.
Mrs. Bennett.
I just want to say that I'm in full support of this resolution and thank you for bringing it to the council. Oh.
Just two quick questions.
Sorry, can I just clarify? I'm sorry, the resolution about getting rid of the carry permit. Who knows what I was holding? Fee, the fee, not getting rid of carry permits, getting rid of the fee. Sorry, go ahead, Bill.
We close the book on the discussion hiring without civil service approvals. I know that we've hired people, 5 people this year. The statement was, we had to hire them because civil service moves too slowly. So we hire them and then we get civil service approval after the fact. Seems to be the way we're operating. Is that factual? And second half of that question is, have we gotten any civil service approvals for the people who we've hired?
Well, we always get, so people apply, we put people in for provisional. And then by the time civil service gets around to it, and then we will receive a list of people who have applied. And then my right as mayor, I can pick the top 3 of those candidates and whoever that is. Now, if the person that we put in provisional did not make that top 3, then that's on them, right? So then I'd have to pick from that top 3. So put someone in provisional because we must maintain government. We must govern through. We cannot just stop and wait for civil service.
So of those 5 hires this year, all provisional, what's their status? That is still provisional or have there been some people that?
Not all of them, no. Not all of them, no. Some of them are now.
Some of their jobs have been posted and no other people applied or didn't come out?
In some instances, yes. We can't talk about those.
I'm not asking about individuals here. I'm just, not names,
Yes.
just talking about.
But you don't want to talk about positions either, because then.
Right.
like with the name,
Identifiable.
Yes, we.
Just be
did
general.
Someone official from getting the list back.
So 1 out of 5 has been made official, the others are still pending?
Yeah, you have to wait for civil service to get back with you, whether it's a list or, yeah, because it's posted. Sometimes they have it depends on positions, because
And a test.
depends on,
Yeah.
yeah, some of them require tests, some of them don't require tests, some of them are in appointments, some of them require open competitive, but each title has a different requirement in civil service, a different classification code, a different hierarchy, they're all different. But we abide by all civil service guidelines.
Right, so 1 out of 5 has been
Well,
finalized.
actually, I think there was more than that. Without
I don't know
coming
which
out and
5
telling you who they
talking
are,
about,
but
so.
there have been.
Yeah.
You think there were, you know there were?
I know there was more than one.
I think we're getting the impression here that maybe next meeting, give us a little updated report, so I don't have to keep asking the same questions.
I'm sorry, but I think that we have literally gone over this time after time after time.
You have not answered,
Township.
answer it tonight.
Bill, I sent you an
The
email.
township has.
Some people to respond was the answer.
Abide by all civil service guidelines. Everything administration has done, they have posted when civil service requires them to post. When there is an opening that needs to be filled statutorily, I think we had one a couple of months ago. It gets filled, that person's appointed provisionally, administration handles that appointment provisionally. When civil service gets around to it, they update administration to let them know, okay, here's the posting you need to post as of this date. It will be open for the next 28, 30 days, whatever that is. When it's posted in the township, people are then, they're allowed to apply for it, obviously, if they qualify for it. Depending on what the applications come in, depending on the job title, they might require that people test. They might just get in their applications and say, okay, based on your experience level or your seniority and whatever, you might just qualify for it. But that takes a long period of time too. And then administration's notified, here is a list, and then administration can choose who that person is. Sorry, but.
That's like a story you just told that you read out of a book. I'm asking.
It's the way it goes. Bill, I sent you the emails from the beginning to the end.
I'm asking right now. I'm just asking, get us a status update on those people that were hired. Are they in civil service? Are they not? Is their position still pending? That's all.
Every position in this township, as far as I'm aware, is civil service and under the guidelines of civil service.
If we were to provide you with a list of the open or the positions that we're awaiting, and would that be satisfactory?
They'd ought to be raised.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could do
Is an Oprah request,
Suppose it was
you could do a confidential.
from a copy of the Oprah request?
Sure can.
So that does that show what position and how it was handled more or less?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
That's what,
I think after Marcy let me know there was an Oprah request, she let everybody know. I think,
the Oprah request that you're talking about was a while ago.
yes.
I got a new Oprah request.
Oh, okay,
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not just gonna supply an Oprah request to everybody
right.
when I get one. If you'd
Right.
like a copy of it, I will absolutely give it to
So is
you.
there any meaningful information in the new Oprah request as per my questions here?
It just has a job that was posted. One of the jobs that was posted on civil service.
But I guess the question that the council president is asking, you want a list of the vacant positions. You want to see who was, I guess, appointed provisionally,
Right.
and then what the status is. You almost want to say.
Is that something you could just have a conversation with the business administrator? Like if you
Yes.
come into the office one day and.
That would be the
conversation?
easiest way.
Natalie, I'm doing it here. I don't need you to tell me what I should do, just like the mayor saying I should come in. I'm asking it right here.
You can't do that in public.
You can't do it in
because
public.
Asking for a name.
You can't do it by position either, because it's easily identifiable. It has to be done in closed session, and it has to be, and all those people have to be riced. That's just a fact. It's not that you're hiding anything, but you're talking about positions that can be identified with people. It's not like you're talking about just the Department of DPW. You're talking about individual positions that are in the building, that once you mention position X, then there's a name associated with position X, so therefore it cannot be discussed publicly. It just can't.
So I'm just brainstorming a way for you to get your information.
The best
You know, if
way
you
is
want that answer,
to
that question
the
answered,
mayor,
Bill.
the administrator, or the
Absolutely.
administrator, if the mayor gives you the position.
Provide copies of the postings?
You can
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
public
That's
information.
public information.
Yeah,
Why couldn't we just provide copies of the posting?
go right ahead. That would be awesome.
I mean, that gives you everything. It gives you the position that was posted, the
Mhm.
date it was posted,
Yeah.
like.
I did that with the last one.
Where are positions posted? Where? On the civil services?
On civil service, and they have to be posted in the lunchroom.
Oh, okay, so literally.
It's like the employee, yeah,
Gotcha.
certain things that the town has to post, that's what.
They're posted in public newspapers?
The
They don't-
bulletin.
No, there's a
Posted in.
here and on the civil service website, you said?
So not in public newspapers.
No,
Well, there's actually,
Because it's-
not to use public newspapers anymore, because
To actually, you're right,
Right.
to push it on your website.
What a way to limit the candidacies.
no, what they're
I-
actually saying, the argument is that if you go to public newspapers, you're actually limiting. That's the argument. Nobody has print anymore.
Well, a public newspaper could be a digital newspaper as well.
They rejected that. A lot of the local,
This was just held at the state senate hearings, in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And
it's on the civil service
our LD
website.
24 was actually in support of not having meeting notices and stuff like that go through print, because print is so obsolete
And it's
anymore
a-
that it reaches more people digitally through your own website and other avenues than to do public newspapers.
And it's a huge expense. It's a large
huge
expense. So,
Right.
yeah.
I believe there's also another requirement that they're trying to push now, Marcy. what?
So this will start, I believe, March of 2026, where we can begin to, post our ads on our websites, our legal ads on our websites, but from, from January 1st to December 31st. Don't hold me to those dates. We have to post in the newspaper 2 times a month and give them,
Check our website.
yes, and give them the website information.
www.Vernon Township.
That just was,
Okay.
so for a year, we still have to at least do 24 ads.
We just have to
in the
redirecting
newspaper.
posts.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
And the last question was on the IT discussion that took place. Are we all okay with that? The process, procedure, everybody's abiding by the rules and the laws of the passwords?
Do you want me to talk about executive session minutes?
No.
Discussions?
No.
Okay.
So you posted on Facebook, so it's not public. I mean, it is public, so,
All matters have been addressed.
okay.
You're going to have that ready for next.
Yep.
Thank you. Ms. Boucher?
No comments.
I have no comment either. Thank you. May I have a motion to close
I'll
the
make that motion.
adjourn? Motion made by Mrs.
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Di Benedetto. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Good night.
Turn everything
You know,
on.
Yes.
that's close. We have select,
Still open. We're
we
still
have,
open.
we have,
We're still open. She just closed it.
we done?
No, we're not. So I'm telling you, we're still.